They're racing the stopwatch. They're in their own battles, yet they're still only separated by tenths of seconds.
Well, we're hearing Josh Brooks has retired on lap 1, unfortunately. Rider okay, our information says, Cam.
Sounds like a mechanical.
Blamed from the back of Hickman as he heads up from Ramsey. Meanwhile, McGuinness.
Honda teammates, McGuinness, Dean Harrison making their way through the bungo. Look at the crowd that have made their way up to the mountain. It is incredible. You would think it's senior day. The amount of people out on course today is so impressive.
Growing in popularity. It's not surprising why when you get these gladiators out there together. Look at Dunlop lifting a knee just to avoid the curb on the left side. Huge support for him during Supersport. We've had some brilliant stories this week already. Dunlop taking that 26th win to equal Uncle Joey. Then we saw the Crow brothers winning at home in sidecar. What has this Superbike race got in store for us? Davey Todd coming through. What are the splits? Harrison by 0.1, but that's surely going to change when Todd appears on the leaderboard. He does. He goes top. 1.8 back to Harrison. Davey Todd is on an absolute mission here, and then it's Harrison, Dunlop, and Hickman a little way off the pace. Here he is.
Yeah, but we know the form of this rider, Peter Hickman. Ride him off at your peril. He always gets stronger towards the end of the race, and he's such a fierce competitor. He won't be happy with sitting back in that position.
Harrison then comes down to end lap 1. You ride on board with him over St Ninians and down Bray Hill. Here we go, look at this. Unbelievable, just unbelievable stuff. Just listening into the throttle commitment down there. Dunlop too. This is incredibly close, but here is Davey Todd, your race leader at the minute on the BMW 1000RR. He looked so hungry the other day on the Ducati in Supersport. Can he take a win here on the Isle of Man on the big machine? 134.417.
That's Davey Todd's first 134 plus mile an hour lap from a standing start.
Incredible stuff. Can he hold on? 5 laps to go.
Hickman is 4th over the line, 2.2 down on Dean Harrison. Work to do at the end of lap 1 then. 4:10.9 for Harrison from the grandstand to Glen Helen.
Nearly the quickest.
Well, that's 1.7 off the best Superbike first sector.
Yeah,
that is
yeah.
pretty good from Harrison. Of course, let's not forget Harrison. They were plagued with issues at the start of last week's qualifying on that Superbike.
Yep.
And have a look at this. We've got wide speed gauge down on the edge of the screen there, telling us exactly what these bikes are travelling at.
160 miles an hour going upwards towards 170. Dunlop coming into the previous section. Glen Helen up over the new piece of tarmac on the exit here. Watch for the right hand side of the road and you'll see there it is. Super smooth, looking nice as well.
Another Honda mounted rider there, James Hillier. Always super smooth, James.
I love that slight rise in the road where the white lines are on the previous section of Glen Helen. Of course, it works the opposite way here. You're coming in and the camber is working for you. And there, as you come over and the camber changes, you hear the bike spin up as it just goes a bit light.
Yeah, the back just breaks away. Looking back through this same section, we saw the others just ride through. Craig Willys Hill, back to James Hillier from the helicopter. That overview really shows how often the guys are turning left to right, rarely going straight.
Yeah, those 1500 corners, a lot of them are very, very fast indeed. They're mere kinks in the road, aren't they? Cam was talking about how many corners they face in 6 laps as we see Hickman through Glen Helen. Todd still leads from Dunlop by 1.5. Dean Harrison a further 3.4 back. 5 seconds over the top 3, and now Hickman just 0.3 off Harrison. So Hickman is starting to up his pace as he tends to do.
And the Croncavoti straight, 185 miles an hour before flicking into that right-hand crest.
The drop away, Cam, there, that's just, it's hard to comprehend for us who don't ride superbikes around here at an average speed of 130. It looks like madness, but all of these individuals, it's calculated risk at every point on the course, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
How quick can you go? When do you want to start pushing? That's the interesting thing for me about Hickman, is that ability to come in and go a bit quicker, a bit quicker, a bit quicker. Todd, to me, seems really hungry, and he's started here, hasn't he, incredibly well, as Harrison tends to do too. Harrison through Kurt Michael.
Certainly setting a fast pace. John McGuinness down through Kurt Michael, looking so smooth as John always does. Back to his teammate, Dean Harrison.
3 factory Hondas here. Of course, Nathan Harrison from the Isle of Man also running. He's down in P12 at the moment.
Yeah, fantastic ride for how little experience he's had. Wow, Michael Dunlop, he looks visually quick. Oh, you can see how hard he's pushing. We often use the term, he just muscles that bike where he wants it to go.
He really is on a big push. Say 1.5 down on Todd. Is this the moment that Dunlop's decided to go for it? Here is Todd on the number 8. Back to the heli now. And again, another one of these super quick sections in and out the trees with Harrison.
Oh, you can see the edge of that tyre, that Metzler slick. It's just starting to feather slightly on the edges. Just shows you how hard they're driving off the turns.
And how important, I guess, the tyre changes are, Cam. You know, you've got to do it on a superbike. They've got the ability to quick change the rear wheels, so you're going to use up those tyres. Super Sport, not quite the same tech, and you don't want to be changing rears on those. They're allowed to, but nobody does. These
superbikes are putting out 240 plus horsepower at the tyre.
Here comes the Malenko by Paget's pair. Will the riders start to feel those rear tyres going off, Cam? You know, is there a point at which you go, it's starting to go now?
Yep, it's usually about the middle of the second lap that you'll start to feel it spin up a little bit. You're looking forward to that pit stop to get a fresh rear end.
Here we can on board with Todd. Super quick here, so we're not getting any opportunity really to hear that rear spinning up. You tend to hear it out the slower corners. Dunlop, look, with a foot off. He's really trying hard here. Balaf Bridge, Dunlop look has gone quicker here in this sector. So in sector 2, Dunlop goes quickest by 1.8 and by 0.2 from Todd. That won't be enough to take the lead quite yet, but it shows that he is on a big old push.
He's on a charge. As Davey Todd, he's drafted past James Hillier there. Looking super smooth. They're not using quite as much road as Dunlop out of that turn though.
Keeping it out of the dirt that's right in the gutter. Cam, you were saying when you went your parade lap that the course is just not quite as clean because we haven't had all the running. Last year we had this perfect weather, the track was super clean, super early, and we're not at that point quite yet. There are still some dirty bits out there when you run wide. Dunlop, 200.682 down the Solby Straight.
Yeah, the course is looking better with every lap though, and after this 6 laps of superbike racing, it'll be in fine form.
Jamie Coward on board through K-Tree. And Davey Todd on board, 190 as he drafts past. Wow. 197, 198 you saw there.
Just imagine the amount of ground he's covering at that speed.
That's the reverse angle of K-Tree, and it is impressive, Cam. Here it is as well. Todd pushing through that section.
Look at the grass and the trees on the side of the track getting blown around just from the force of those bikes.
Dunlop into the lead, but Todd still to come through. Remember, he nibbled a little bit off them on that last sector. So what's he going to have done in the run to the Ramsey hairpin from Balaf Bridge? You said from the attitude of the bike that he looked like he was trying hard. Here comes Todd. Let's have a look. Oh, Dunlop must have been trying really hard because he's 4.4 up on Davey Todd. He has absolutely annihilated. There's the sector time. 3.9 in one sector, Cam. What has he done through there?
That is incredible. Sector 3, without doubt the most technically challenging. It's so hard to muscle the bike through that bumpy part of the course.
Unbelievable stuff. Here comes Peter Hickman. Hickman, look, wow, Hickman has actually gone quick through that sector too. He was only 0.7 off, so Hickman is winding it up. He moves up into P3 ahead of Dean Harrison. So this is not over yet. Oh, Coward on board. That's Michael Dunlop blasting past him.
Yeah, he's wasting no time as we head up the mountain mile here. Connor Cummins looking smooth as always on the Malenko by Paget's Honda.
He heads up the mountain for the second time. And we see Davey Todd now tucked in fully. He probably won't even know he's lost the lead at this point because that was a monster sector by Dunlop, and he continues to hunt the riders in front of him down.
Yeah, we see Michael Dunlop just drafting his way past John McGuinness up out of mountain box. Oh, two absolute living legends of the TT on course together.
Fantastic stuff. Only Harrison now remains on course, I think, in front of Michael Dunlop as they come down towards the pit stops for the first time. Hickman up at the bungalow.
I can see the helicopter above. That means Michael's getting close. There's a buzzer going off. That must mean he's almost here. There's a spare wheel here, a tyre ready. Oh, Dean's in first. Sorry, that's the buzzer I can hear. Dean's just running pit lane. That's a good showing actually for Dean so far on the Honda Fireblade. I just had a quick word with Herb, and they're happy how things are going so far. Here we go, here's Michael. Gary's got his arms out, just trying to calm him down a little bit, coming through pit lane. Obviously the limiter's on. I'm stood next to a very nervous Stephen Hick in here. That rear tyre looks pretty good to me. Looks like the Dunlops are well. Visor change, look, here we go. Nice and relaxed, these boys in the paddock. Obviously so experienced. Just trying, oh, there you go. There's the monster bottle being thrown down on the floor, all done. Michael's got a little bit of a sweat on there, as you would expect. New Dunlop's fitted, spindle going in, no problems. We're just waiting on Toddy coming in behind. Here's Toddy, obviously they're close on the road. There you go. He's pulled up behind, nowhere near as many flies at the moment on the screens of the bikes. Toddy's just getting a new visor. Michael's just signalled something to Stephen Hick, and he's about to go over the wall. That's it, the fuel cup's in, that's it, no, he's going away. That's it, Toddy's there, new visor in, it looks nice and relaxed, no problems. They've changed the rear's going in. Michael's there, got the pit lane limiter on, and away he goes. It is frantic down here. Obviously, I said that the people are nervous, but there's hardly any room to move behind this pit wall. It really is, and we're a pain in the backside, being in the way, in all fairness. Todd is just trying his visor. Gary, was he happy?
Yeah, happy enough, yeah, all good. Just keep...
Good job. Oh, Todd is missed a gear, just trying to set off in the pit lane the way he goes. It is so frantic here, I can't get my head around it.
And Harrison first on the road, Dunlop first on the leaderboard, and Cameron, Michael Dunlop's second lap was sensational.
Incredible, a new Superbike TT course record, bumping up from 135.4 to 135.5. He is flying.
And he's just flown past Dean Harrison, pulls out of the slipstream, coming down towards the end of this straight. Harrison now on the same machinery, remember, albeit a different team, will have a good opportunity to see where Dunlop's taken that time. He'll know Michael started 30 seconds behind him, and Harrison might try and hang on for a bit here.
Oh, Michael off Solby Bridge, the rear tyre, let's go. Wow, he certainly is trying. We are seeing lap record pace. We didn't think we'd see that this early in the week, but we are.
Outrageous. If it had been a flying lap, I think that would certainly have been the outright lap record, wouldn't it? They only get one attempt, remember, at the flying lap, which is lap 6. Other than that, you're either off the start line or coming in or out of the pits. So
yeah, that lap time slowing for the pit stop, incredible.
Still using all those dirty bits of road, though, does go to show you Dunlop is pushing and taking some risks to try and gap the rest of the field. And meanwhile, on board with Hickman, touching 185 miles an hour already.
Yeah, look at this speed, Solby straight, and there's no rest, even though it's a straight. The force on your body, the pressure of the air, you're doing your best just to hang on with your elbows, knees on the tank, just holding on so tight.
Pushing towards 200 miles an hour. The speed trap has shown 200 already there today, of course. I think it was Dunlop, wasn't it, who just topped the 200 mark. And Hickman not using quite so much road on the exit, sitting P3 at the minute.
He is, and he'd know that because he's got a pit signal on the right-hand side just before the Ginger Hall Hotel there.
On board with Todd now. Can Todd wind it on in this middle section of the race? Try and close down the gap a bit.
This is a section that Michael Dunlop has been so quick through. We're talking about, look how technical it is through there. Bumpy.
Todd still on a mission as we swap to Peter Hickman. He's coming up towards K-Tree, isn't he, in the next section?
He is. And although he started back in P10, he's got plenty of clear road ahead of him now. Nothing to slow him down.
Hickman likes starting further back, doesn't he? There are plenty of riders who don't want that traffic and want to be up front, but you also like to have a bit of a character chase.
Yeah, it can work for you or against you, but it's what Pete does, and he's made it work for him until now.
So Dunlop now, we knew he was 30 up on Harrison because he's caught him on the road. Todd was 11.9 back at Balaf Bridge, and then Hickman a further 5.5. The every lap look back that you get there from Dunlop, and here comes Todd now out of Parliament Square.
Yeah, that gap back to Todd has grown, and I think could be a little bit in that pit stop, bike not starting. Also, Hondas are always very good on fuel. BMW might have taken an extra litre or two. That could have all cost Davey Todd some time in that stop.
Yeah, it's gravity-fed fuel, isn't it? So you can't force it in any quicker. Everybody's fuel goes in at the same rate. If you're using less fuel, you need to be at a standstill for less time. There's no minimum pit stop time, is there? It's governed by how quickly can you get the fuel in, change the rear wheel, and in some riders' case, yeah, change a visor, change a lid.
That is it.
Screen cleaning as well for the flies, which we've seen since the weather's got better. The riders all say they're coming in with way less visibility.
Yeah, you can see how many are on the front of Peter Hickman's helmet there.
And across the leathers too, isn't it? Across the top, getting battered the whole way round. Up through Stella Maris.
Oh, driving hard. Up to Ramsey Hairpin.
Hickman +4 on Davey Todd. Look, Dunlop stretched the lead again by another 3 seconds, so he's got nearly 15 seconds now. We're not even at the halfway point. He is looking incredibly strong, Cameron. Got the 26. We said, you know, is that going to release something, take a bit of pressure off? He just looks to be riding very comfortably and very quickly.
He's already had one win this week in the Super Sport class and looks to be going from strength to strength.
Now, we just caught a glimpse a minute ago of Dean Harrison in behind Dunlop as we ride on board with Davey Todd. This was actually where we saw Harrison behind Dunlop at Bungalow. Harrison's still with him. He's followed him right from when he got past Solby Straight. Yeah, Dunlop's made up 30 seconds in 3 laps, and suddenly Dean's gone with him for nearly a whole lap.
Yeah, that's a heck of a pace. I tell you, a rider of the calibre of Dean Harrison doesn't have a lot to learn, but if you're going to follow anyone around here, it's Michael Dunlop on form.
Yeah, absolutely. And we ride on board now with Harrison, so Dunlop will still be just in front of him as they come down to start lap 4, over St Ninians and down through Bray Hill. I've been down here so many times in traffic this week, and every time I go down there I can't get my head around it.
Surely right now Dean Harrison's thinking, there's another Honda in front of me. If one Honda can do it, surely another can. He's going to jump on the back, grit his teeth and hang on for the ride.
As long as he possibly can. Davey Todd now down through the same section. It just looks so relaxed, and yet it's 170 odd miles an hour. I mean, there it is from the curbside. You have to go and watch at the bottom of Bray Hill if you're ever over, just for at any session. It will blow your mind.
See Michael now just starting to etch out a bit more of a gap over Dean. Oh!
Pushing hard. He leads by 17 now from Todd. Hickman is still 4 back from Todd. So Todd is holding on to that position. Harrison a further 9.2 back. So it's stretching out a little, but definitely still on. That's Cummins. So Cummins is in the pits and he's off the bike. So Connor Cummins retires the Malenko by Paget's machine. That's a shame for the Manxman.
Yeah, shame for the rider and the team.
Back with Dunlop. Harrison still there. And look at this. Look at the attitude, Cameron.
Yeah, he is pushing hard.
That bike is moving around so much underneath him, and Harrison continues to go with him. Can't wait to see. Dean will be gathering so much data. Remember, this is his first season on this bike, first time here on the Isle of Man. He's been on the Kawasaki previously. I can't wait to see what he can do in the senior when they've made some decisions about settings and things. Todd through the same section, K-Tree.
Yeah, Davey Todd's now past Jamie Coward. Could just see him in the background as now we ride on board Pete Hickman, using the road and then some.
Hickman through K-Tree. Looks smoother through there, doesn't he?
Certainly looks smoother than Michael.
Michael is riding hard. He is pushing 19.2. The gap goes up again.
Oh, I just saw that back tyre break away. Oh, shake of the head. And not the customary look back over the shoulder.
Yeah, so what's Dunlop not happy with as we see Todd come through, 22.6 back. Dunlop, despite not being happy, has taken another 3 seconds off Todd. So he's edging away here as they come down towards the second pit stop in this 6-lap Superbike encounter. Here comes Hickman through the same section. Watch for those telltale lines in the middle of the road, just as the bikes cross the crest of the road and the rear spins up.
Yeah, Pete Hickman, he really is looking so smooth. Not quite as fast as we used to see him. Lost another couple of seconds there to Davey Todd in that sector. That fight for third, though, is getting closer.
It is, while the lead out front stretches out just a little bit. You're with Todd. Listen to that, spinning up.
Coming down through the Bungalow. Look at Davey Todd's elbow. Look at how close it gets to the road. He just touched the road with his elbow. We're used to seeing that in MotoGP. Through the Bungalow over tram lines.
Absolutely outrageous, isn't it? Love it. We're on board with Hickman. He's just come through the veranda section coming up towards Bungalow. Riding beautifully, but maybe not with quite the same urgency as Dunlop and Todd, who are ahead of him.
Then look at him coming in there. My God, it looks like he's breaking into a flipping hairpin. Visor up, just a flick down and look, trying to get the pit lane limit on. Here comes obviously Dean. Dean's on the pipe as well. Obviously he's been lapping with Michael. They're straight in with the fuel there. Doesn't seem that you can see Stephen Icking over the back here. He's got his fire kit on, ready to jump over if Michael asks for anything, but I would say on the pacemate at the moment he'll probably keep it pretty cool. Toddy looks pretty settled and sorted, second place. Obviously it's heating up at third. Here goes Michael, look, there you go. Oh, done the same as Toddy, just didn't get it into gear in time. You have to be so careful when that happens. You don't stamp on the gear lever and cause the gearbox any problems.
Sorry, Steve, to interrupt. Michael Dunlop is in trouble coming out of pit lane. We saw his visor being changed. He's holding on to the left side of the visor now. He's completely rolled off at St Ninian's Crossroads.
He's pulling over.
25-second lead is about to go out there, and Todd's being pushed out the end of pit lane 2. P1 and P2 have had a disastrous second pit stop here in the RST Superbike race. This is unbelievable, Cam.
Michael Dunlop, he's pulled up on Bray Hill. He's got a visor problem. You can't change the visor without taking off the helmet. Can't take the helmet off without removing your gloves. Hot, sweaty hands, heat of the moment. Boy, he is cool under pressure here. This is unprecedented.
Absolute nightmare, stopping on one of the fastest parts of the track here. Michael Dunlop is hemorrhaging time. He's away again, but the damage is already done.
Well, it's not just that. Toddy's got a big problem. He's been pushed all the way down pit lane. You can just see him. He's lost seconds, lots and lots of seconds. So we could see Hickey or Harrison fighting for the win here. Comes back to you.
Well, what have we just seen unfold here? That is just unprecedented drama, Cam. But now we won't have any idea where anyone is until they get to the split at Glen Helen.
All we know is that this RST Superbike race has been turned on its head. Both Dunlop and Todd, first and second, losing massive amounts of time in their pit stops.
What's really unusual, Cam, here is normally if you have a problem, if you drop the bike, you're out. The tech issue, you're out. They're still going. What's going through your head? Here we go. The splits are coming up at Glen Helen. Harrison coming through. So he's going to trip it first of all. He is the leader, which is what we were expecting. Now we're waiting for the others. What is going through Dunlop and Todd's mind now?
All you can do is reset and start again. That's all you can do, is get back to business. Just keep focusing on that next sector. You can't dwell on the past. You've just got to focus on what's ahead of you.
2 laps to go, and they've just got to get their heads back down, watch for their pit boards and see whether or not they can salvage anything from this.
And they're on road together.
Oh, wow.
Davey Todd is now behind Michael Dunlop on road, and look at the times. Harrison's leading.
By
Todd's
11.3, 19.6, then back to Dunlop. Hickman's just 1.1 off the back of Harrison. We've got a fight on our hands here. It's come to Hickman. We know he gets quicker towards the end of the race. I tell you what, he's going to get a hurry up now. He might just be able to win this one.
Now, Dean Harrison needs good signals, and he will get them. He needs to know exactly what's happening in this race.
Dean Harrison, the point he was reeling in Peter Hickman, though, he had Dunlop as a reference. Before that, Hickman and Dean Harrison, when they had clear track, Harrison was the faster of the two.
Yeah.
Sorry, Hickman was the faster of the two.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Can Dean do the same time as he was doing? That's the big question.
Exactly. This is fascinating. And Davey Todd is only 10.1 down on Hickman. We're on lap 5 of 6. And Todd, of course, is behind Dunlop on the road.
Correct.
So he's getting a great reference.
Exactly.
It's such a muddle, but it's brilliant.
Michael Dunlop on the back wheel of John McGuinness now.
Yeah, and as they go through on John might be able to hang on to these guys as well. It's fascinating.
You're on board with Hickman now. His body language, Cam, since he got the notification that there was a win on, has been completely different.
Yeah, now he's got victories in his sight. He's grabbed that M1000RR BMW by the scruff of the neck and taken to this last lap with gusto.
He really has, wheeling there up over the right hand. You ride on board with Hickman. 4 seconds, Cam, is not enough for him to be rolling off. Harrison will know as well, of course. McGuinness' teammate Dean Harrison will know. He's in for a chance of a win as well.
Yeah, absolutely. The result leading into that last pit stop almost looked like a foregone conclusion, but now it is wide open.
It really is. Harrison's wide open too. You just caught a glimpse there of the rev lights across the top of his dash in his visor reflection. Head down every single split second he can possibly get. Showing as the leader, but wait for Hickman to come through at Balafridge. There he is, 6.5. He's edged him out just a little bit more. Hickman really is pushing. He wants it now.
These guys have been going hammer and tong now for over 200 miles, Andrew, and it's come down to this.
Incredible. What a start we've had to this TT. We've had 3 absolutely banging races. But Lathbridge, Dunlop, look, even with the heartbreak he's had, he's still banging in the fastest sectors. Him and Todd are still circulating together, looking at that final podium position. But at the minute, it really is looking at going the way of Todd. To be fair, Todd's only 1.2 off the back of Harrison.
We've got less than 8 seconds separating that top 3. Now, Michael's 20 seconds back in 4th, but you wouldn't know it with how hard he's still pushing. John McGuinness sitting there in 5th. He's ready to pick up the pieces.
Fantastic. Hickman through the right hand, sideways on the exit of the right at the end of Selby Straight. That's the line that Dunlop's been taking all day, and that goes to show Hickman has really upped the risk here.
Exactly.
McGuinness